You know Robby Hart as one of the cornerstones of Wrestle Rampage. He is a former two-time Australian national champion and one of the most dynamic and exciting performers that this country has ever produced. He has even made a splash in the international scene by competing in both Michinoku Pro and Zero One over in Japan. But what few may know is that before he was known as Robby the Lion Hart, he was Rob Cooper, and got his start all the way back in 2006 in Riot City Wrestling. Today on the RCW Rewind, we are going to go all the way back to the start, to the first ever Riot City Wrestling event, and take a look at Robby Hart's time in the mean streets of Riot City. Let's travel back to the summer of 2006. Eminem was topping the charts, John Howard was about to enter his 10th year as Prime Minister, and Big Mama's House 2 was #1 at the box office. Meanwhile, in Adelaide, a fledgling pro wrestling company was about to get its start. January 7, 2006 saw the first ever Riot City Wrestling event, Reanimated, take place at the Irish Club in Adelaide, South Australia. Legendary Riot City Wrestling commentator Wolfdog would announce this event would feature the tournament to decide the first ever Riot City Wrestling champion. In the first round, Robby Hart, known at this time as Rob Cooper, would square off against the future Chris Basso, Mimic. Watching back this match, it is clear that both Mimic and Cooper would go on to become pillars of the Australian wrestling scene. Their match was a true highlight of the night, notably featuring Robby Hart pull out an acai moonsault to Mimic on the floor of the Irish Club. Mimic would go on to win this match, but even in defeat, Robby showed that he had a very promising future ahead of him. Robby Hart would return to Riot City Wrestling the following month at Epidemic and pick up a decisive victory before setting his sights on one of RCW's rising stars, Cash Courageous. Robby and Courageous would face off at Retribution in a match with serious RCW title implications. Hart would display his signature innovative offense, but after an ill-timed top rope leg drop, would ultimately fall prey to Courageous. Coming off this loss, Robby Hart would defeat Courageous' tag team partner Jesse Plandora at the first ever Scarstruck event and earn himself an RCW title match against the champion, Dragon Matt Basso. This match would start off hot with both men trying to establish dominance. Dragon would go for a hip toss, only to be reversed and countered until he flattened Robby with a big boot. The match kicked into a higher gear with both men fighting for control. Robby would catch Dragon with a tilt-whirl head scissors for a close near fall. In the closing moments of the match, Hart would attempt a stinger splash in the corner, only for Dragon to move out of the way and hit a vicious lariat. He would follow this up with an iconoclasm for the three, and the victory in what many would consider an early RCW classic. Shortly following this match, Robby would part ways with Riot City Wrestling, but next Sunday, August 21st, he will make his first appearance in an RCW ring in over 16 years as he goes one-on-one with Chris Basso in a rematch quite literally years in the making, in the semi-finals of the Strength Cup. With the history these two men have, you've got to believe that anything can happen as they go to war for only the second time in their careers. Tickets are on sale now. Trust me, you will not want to miss this one.